Hey everybody, it's Leanne Aurora Blue. Now, I've come across a tag that I just had to join in on. It was started by Aaliyah of Song on the Wind. Now, I've only just come across Aaliyah's channel, so a big hello to Aaliyah, and I look forward to watching your content. But yeah, I was really excited about this tag. It's yeah, because I love books, you know. I love witchcraft, so it's definitely something that I wanted to get involved with. Now, my witchcraft book collection, I have to admit, is very varied, so I can only show you a few books. Now, when I started off learning Wicca. I started learning when I was about 12, and unfortunately, as I've sort of moved about throughout my life or what have you, I've lost books along the way, and I'm not Wiccan myself, and I've gave away books, which I've later regretted. So I've either replaced the books or intend to replace some of the books that were part of my journey when I was younger. This is one of my original books. It's the Buckland's Complete Book of Witchcraft. Look how old it is. The sort of pages are browning. Not quite that old smell yet. We like old browny pages in books. But yeah, this book was okay, you know. I never actually worked through it all as a workbook, but yeah, it's a good jumping point, you know. A lot of people own this book. A lot of people recommend this book. It's funny, really, how I didn't. I would have liked to have sort of looked back and seen my notes from when I was younger. You know, it has Sabbats in it, you've got divination in it, covens and rituals, getting started, healing, bread and cakes, talismans and amulets. It's actually quite a good book. It's got herbs, so I might actually have another little look at this one. This is one that I've had for ages also. This one's by Eileen Holland. This is a good reference book. This will never leave my shelves. It's good for correspondences, you know. It's primarily a reference book. Is it in alphabetical order? I think it's in alphabetical order. Now, I don't always use correspondences in work, but it's handy to have the information just sat there in case you need it. So this book discusses planetary associations, numbers, animals, flowers, herbs, which gods or goddesses to invoke. So, for example, if I wanted to do a fertility spell, I might invoke the goddess Diana. I might use juniper, and I might burn pine, and I will do it under a full moon. So it's really, really interesting, you know. So that's a great resource. Also a book that I don't have to hand, but I will put a photograph of it in, is, what's it called? I'm sure it's called The Wiccan Handbook. Also by Eileen Holland. It's the one with the it's got like a purple cover. And that was like a Wiccan 101 book. That one I definitely will replace. I remember that being a very good book, and that was one of my favourites. The Trusty Witch's Bible. This one I had to replace as I gave away my first copy. God knows why I did that. But yeah, the Witch's Bible is well used. As we know, this is two books into one. It's the Sabbats for Witches and What Witches Do. The Witch's Way. So this talks. This book can be used for a solitary practitioner, but can also be used for coven work. It discusses consecration, setting up an altar, tools, divination, astral projection, Sabbats. Great book that was. And also I've got one or two tabs there. Let's have a look what I've tabbed. Oh, that's just opening the circle. Closing the circle. So that's the index. And protection rituals. There you have the... There, excellent book. I love that book. This one was another one I had to replace. This is a good book because it outlines rituals for you. So you might have a Beltane ritual, or Stara ritual, a second degree initiation ritual, first degree initiation ritual, the rite of drawing down the sun, drawing down the moon, a hand fasting rite. But it's good because, you know, I prefer writing my own rituals and my own spells. So this is a good resource, you know, for saying, okay, what have they put in there? Okay, well, I'm not going to copy that, but I'm going to go along those lines. So that's a good book. Okay, later on in my path, and Psychic Self-Defense. That's a good book. Obviously, Dion Fortune's a fabulous writer, but of course, very old style. So, yeah, that's a fab book. Dion Fortune books I absolutely adore. Yeah, I've got a mystical Kabbalah over there that I'm just looking at. Okay, more recently, where's that by? More recently is books such as these. This is the British Book of Spells and Charms by Graham King. Fab book. This discusses the British spells and charms. Books like The Black Toad by Gemma Gary. Yet again, another good book, not very thick, full of good content. Nigel Pearson's Treading the Mill. Yeah, so they're sort of primarily the witchy books. Like I said, I mean, there have been absolutely loads. I've got books on my Kindle, a book on my Kindle that I thoroughly enjoy, which is Wiccan, is Circle of Fire. If you look on Amazon, I think you can read that for free at the moment. I've read The Magical Household, like you, Leah, that was a good book. there's loads. Enough of my rabbiting on. I'm off now. Just before we go, I'd like to add one of the books that I used to really enjoy. I've completely lost over the years. I can't remember its title. I can't remember the author. It was a Wicca book. It was primarily a black cover, but it had sort of like red sort of leafing down each of the edges, and it's sort of in the middle. It had like a doorway. If anybody knows what book that is or has any ideas, could you let me know? I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, bye.